Le SLY Podcast a un Patreon. Content bonus. Épisodes invites en vendredi. Chien marche avec David. Et bien plus encore. Pour moi, d'un café par mois. Patreon.com/SLY Podcast. Merci. Au revoir. The SLY Podcast is always sponsored by Modest Beer. We all know now Modest is not overstated, it's understated, it's modest, it's delicious. It's what you want, it's what I want. www.modest.co.uk/nothing. Just modest.co.uk. Everything you need is there. There's no slash, there's no nothing. But you go there, you subscribe to their newsletter, you get all the up-to-date news on Modest Beer. As well as that, you can acquire merch and find out where Modest is stocked. Or, if you want to just follow them on social media, you can, at Modest Beer. Listen guys, wherever you're consuming this podcast, whether it be in your ears via, I don't know, whatever app you listen to the audio of a podcast on, or whether it's through your peepholes on the YouTube, I mean, do one of those, I don't know, Leandro Trossard, respect. Do me a favour and subscribe and like or review or do whatever you can to help grow the podcast. We're doing great at the minute, numbers are on the rise and I want to keep that going. That'll enable me to get better guests in, you know, make the podcast funnier, put more clips out, be able to just keep it going forward. And now we're obviously trucking on Patreon with the guest episodes and other things. Thank you to everybody who subscribed to that. But listen, let's just keep moving forward. I hope you can give it a wee like, give it a wee 5-star review wherever you get it. Even share it out if you listen to the podcast of a week, put it on your socials, whatever. Help us, help you to help me to... Just do us a favour, is what I'm saying. Alright guys, thanks.
I'm the SLY guy.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the SLY Podcast. With me, the original SLY guy, Dave Elliott, at the helm hosting it because it's my podcast. I get the guests in, I record it, I do everything except the wee editing, which is the snake rat, which apart from that, it's all me, alright? This is why you tune in, for this face. And I thought, you know what, this week I'm going to get somebody in. I'm going to get somebody that I want to get in. I'm going to get not only a very funny comedian, but also my best friend. It's Diona Doherty. What an episode this was. I'd say potentially one of my favourite ever SLY podcasts because it went over time. It was a long one because we were just having a great time. Just giving off about our lives, bitching about stuff, just having a good time. Like just a couple of girls on Prosecco. It was a good time, except we were just drinking not even tea or coffee, just water, because we need more people to subscribe over on the Patreon so we can bring Prosecco and whatever, it's neither here nor there. But it was Diona Doherty on the podcast. What an episode it was. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. Au revoir. Well, not au revoir, but you know what I mean. I'm not saying bye because then I'll be stupid. Enjoy the episode.
Have I ever signed this table?
Have you not?
I don't think I have.
Have you been on properly other than just with Glenn yet?
Yeah.
Have you been on in here?
Yeah.
You sure?
Maybe not. No, maybe it was in the other room.
Yeah, listen. We'll get your pen.
Just checking. There's Sean Haggerty under there.
You should sign yours interlocking with Sean's.
His is under there. It's in a bad space.
Oh, no,
Nobody will see it because it's underneath the laptop.
But you know what? Whenever this is just the table that I use. But for the guest episode, I don't have a laptop.
So you're going to take that laptop away now?
No, not now because this isn't the guest episode. This is the regular SLY podcast. This goes out. This is public.
What do you mean the guest episode?
The guest episode goes out on a Friday on Patreon.
Oh, the guest. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Well, the Patreon episode is what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna sign.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sign here.
Okay. Underneath, you should sign over Shane Todd.
Where's his silly name?
There.
Shane Todd.
Shane Todd's a singer, isn't he?
That's what I said to him the other day. Isn't it mad that somebody has such a similar name to you?
Yeah. Well, bet you they
wouldn't
be able to get in the spotlight with names like that.
No.
Should fucking.
I was going to try to add something to it, but.
Bucks. Not many people do. You know, there's the odd Kisses people. I don't know who that is.
Mimi? It looks like someone called Mimi. Wonder what
Janet Devlin, maybe, is that? The Kisses? Could be.
You have a few kisses here. I'm going to do...
Shane's giving me a couple of kisses.
A wee smiley face.
I thought that was a tit. Just one singular tit.
A wee hat on this guy. If I made him look like, what do you call one of those guys?
Orange Order?
No, but you guys that have the big long beards as well.
Hasidic Jew?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? See the term Hasidic Jew? I didn't think that it was Or is it Hasidic Jew?
That couldn't be acidic.
Because that's what I thought. An Hasidic Jew was just a bitchy Jew, and I thought that was just a type of person. It's just he's an Acidic Jew.
Don't suck on him.
Hasidic.
I've never heard
But
that
you know what?
term.
Like, here's the thing.
That's not what I mean. I mean, do you know those people that live in like
Amish.
Amish?
Right, okay, I get you. But you know what? This is the point I'm making. Both Hasidic Jews and Amish aren't stylish.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
not at
Like,
all.
whoever picked those styles in the day, like, we're going to wear this flat hat. We'll have these curls. What do you think? No?
Also, no colour.
No, just black and white.
They're already ready for their funeral.
Yeah, but then I don't think they do, because I was just kicking about New York, obviously, and was in the Jewish area. We're recording now, by the way, so
Oh, right. What would you say?
we'll just start off straight off into the Jewish chat.
Uh-huh.
But it, like, I was hanging about with a lot of these Jewish guys, and I noticed there was a real like BO tinge to them because they don't wear any deodorant, and it was like,
They don't wear deodorant.
no, and they just wear this like these outfits, and
You
they're like,
saying Jewish people don't wear deodorant?
no, Hasidic Jews, like the proper.
Not. Maybe because
No.
it's too acidic.
Like true, regular Jewish people do, I believe. You know, I'm not saying that, but like the Orthodox Jews are just like, nah.
Wonder about, is it the toxins and
I don't know. Well, you know what? It's something I've never thought about. What I'm going to do now.
Mormons don't take paracetamol.
I know, but that's silly too, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're
Because
sore, take paracetamol.
You know why some people are like, this is the way things are, but times change, and
Yeah.
that's people invent things. So you don't take paracetamol.
Take paracetamol if you've got a headache. How are you supposed to get through the day?
Like, I got out of my bed the other day. I was reading Holly a book and got out of bed, and I just felt my like self walk, like I was walking downhill. My back just went. I've never had my back go before, and I was like, oh no. And I took ibuprofen and it helped.
Dave,
Whereas
that's your
if I
age
was-
now, isn't it?
If I was a more of a man,
A
it
Mormon?
it would be interesting.
A
So let
Mormon?
me see.
Is there more women?
Do Hasidic? I don't know. Do Hasidic Jews? I mean, this is.
What's the things that come up?
Do Hasidic? Is it Hasidic Jews work? Oh wow, this is one. Do Hasidic Jews work? Do Hasidic Jews pay taxes? Do Hasidic women wear wigs? Which they
Hasidic
do.
Jewish women?
Yeah,
Wear wigs?
they shave their heads off because their hair something.
What is
like,
a Hasidic Jew? How do you know so much about these people?
It's just, listen, people have different pastimes. mine are Hasidic Jewish
All things
culture.
Hasidic Jews?
Do Hasidic Jews wear deodorant? I mean, what if this is not a thing? I've just come across as a real racist guy.
So these guys, like the OG Jews?
Yeah,
Okay, so they're hardcore Jews.
yes, they're
They
like
don't give no shit about 2023.
no, they wear those big furry hats. It's oh no, this is so racist. I'm not going to read that title out loud, but
No.
They say there is apparently yeah, they just don't wear deodorant.
But what's
Their
the
religion.
reason?
I can't say it because it's also very racist what this person's saying.
But
you
you
know.
can't say the reason why.
Because of the religion, I don't know.
What do you say?
Because that says, look, I think that's not very fair thing to say,
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I just think it's that they don't like to.
Do you wear a
'cause,
roll-on or a spray?
I wear a spray. I flirted with roll-on for a while, and then I just
Was it not
went
doing
back
the
to
job?
spray. No, but I like to use L'Oreal for Men spray now because it does the job properly.
I know, but it's because the roll-on's better for the environment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But also, lots of things are shit for the environment. We still do them anyway.
Yeah, because like, see, the one thing it does for straight men, it's probably a hack thing to say. I'm sure a lot of people have talked about it, but I don't get why the straws. Why can't you just have plastic straws? Like, for all the damage it's done with other things in the sea and all, just
I saw a clip, and I don't know who it was. It was a stand-up comedian talking about the turtle thing,
Yeah.
and the straws, and they were like the vastness of the ocean,
Yeah.
and a straw in the ocean just makes its way into this
I think
tiny.
it's Colin does a bit about
Is
that.
it?
Yeah, and it's like it just of all the space, and it just gets up as
How?
know.
Like, it feels like a trap. It feels like they're selling that to us, and that's a lie. But also,
Yeah.
like, if you ever give a toddler like a wee thing of juice with a paper straw,
yeah.
fucking disaster.
Yeah, and then how many trees do you kill? Because if you're like, say you're going to McDonald's and you want to have a chocolate milkshake, you need about 4 straws.
Yeah. Your
So,
straw is gonna fall to shit.
Exactly, and then your car. I just think some things, and do you ever like look now? Obviously, you're a mum, you've kids. Like, I was talking about Putin's war the other day, and I was like, if he gets me, he gets me. And then, but then I wouldn't want the girls to die.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't care. But it's like you feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? They can deal with the problem. I still want to drink chocolate milkshakes through a
Yeah.
normal straw that works.
Yeah, it's much more for me it's a bigger problem.
Yeah,
to
I know.
have a shit straw.
I think so. It is definitely an issue.
But it's a wee bit like pathetic, isn't it? Like, it going so soft.
Yeah,
Just like,
I know. Like, invent a straw that biodegrades, but it lasts for more than half an hour.
well, metal straws.
Yeah, but then do you see the thing about that woman that died?
No.
Yeah,
Was
this
she a turtle?
No, this woman had made herself a gin, wee fancy thing, tripped and fell, and went through her eye and killed her.
I mean, if it hadn't have been the straw, it would have been the glass from the glass.
Yeah, but it was a metal tumbler, so it probably just would have hurt her, you know,
Listen,
rather than killed her.
she died so that thousands of turtles would live.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's a fair swap.
Yeah, that is a fair
If
swap.
there was an animal that you would sacrifice yourself in order for them to continue to exist, which would it be?
Myself, for an animal, maybe red pandas. They're my favourite.
There's bound to be not many of them.
No, but there's a few of those. Like, you know my red panda story, do
Yeah.
you? So I actually went to the zoo in the summer to meet the red pandas, and they wouldn't let me into the cage.
Well, obviously not.
Yeah, but I said no. But do you know I've been the one emailing for the last like 5
and they were like,
years?
that's exactly why you're not
Yeah,
getting into the
and they
cage,
were
because
like,
you're
"No,
going
you
to try
can't."
and procreate with a
And
panda.
then there was one of them. They were like, he's too far up the tree, and I was like, well, can you get him to come? And they're like, we can't make him. He's sleeping. Like, I was almost like,
what people say about you when you walk past, your man's too far up the tree.
yeah, he's like, can you go up and get him down? And he was like, nah.
No.
You can't. I said, but I'm here to see him. And they're like, no.
Why is he being so rude?
No, like, you don't know the email trail back and forth
Yeah.
I've had checking. You're
The
all
panda's
right.
like, fuck off round your own door.
I know. I was like, fuck you. And I was so wet and all too. I couldn't even stand to like really find him.
Is your red panda still there?
Yeah, there's two. Because what it
Do you know
was,
their names?
there was Jung and Nima initially, but then Jung died.
Nima and
Ne-
Jung?
Jung and Nima, yeah.
They're great
And
names.
then she, like, because he wasn't eating his dinner and all, and they're like, something's up with Jung, and then
Were they going with
checked
each
him
other or
out.
born just
Oh, they're going with each other.
Yeah.
And he had cancer.
Do you know what?
And they killed him. So then I was like, oh no. You know,
There's your movie.
so that's when I sent an email to him. I was like, listen, just checking Nima's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they were like, oh, she's got a new fella now. And she's had kids with him. I was like, oh, thank God for that.
Well,
You can't
she
replace him.
moved on quickly.
You can't replace him.
No.
You know,
Jung will always have a place in her heart.
I know. But I wanted to go and see the kids just to check they were all right. You know.
Your kids?
The-
Their kids?
The kids,
They're
but they
good,
wouldn't let me
yeah.
in. You know, so.
I
Such
don't know
bad
why they
crack.
wouldn't fucking let you in.
But I'll go back when it's not raining.
Yeah.
And I'll get them eventually.
Do you know what's funny? Like, I went vegetarian for years, and then when I got pregnant with Winter, I stopped being vegetarian because bacon.
Yeah. Was that the thing that made you go, I need a bit of that?
Yeah, pregnancy.
Yeah.
Or bacon.
Oh, bacon, the smell of bacon and whilst pregnant.
It was bacon when I was pregnant, and I was like, I was having it every morning, and then it wasn't even a craving. I was just using it as an excuse to stop being
It's the
vegetarian.
routine,
Yeah, and then now I've come to realise that although I wish no ill harm on any animal, and like would like probably go vegetarian again at some point, I've no interest in having any
Vegetarian stuff or like no?
animals.
No.
Like in my Sean's like, well, we get chickens, and I'm like, no.
Where would you
Why
put
would
chickens?
you backyarden
Yeah.
in a coop?
Nah, you wouldn't want chickens. They make noise and all they stink.
I don't want
Yeah.
any animals. They all smell. We smell, but
Yeah.
we've no choice because we just use deodorant.
Because I get a wee bit
Unless you're
scummed
a-
sometimes unless you're an acidic Jew.
An
Yeah.
acidic Jew?
Get one of them.
Yes! That's just the same.
Just live out
Stick
the back.
them on a leash.
Playing a wee dreidel in the back garden. It'd be a lot of fun.
At least that'd be entertaining. Imagine, did you
Yeah.
ever see those videos though, or like, those like memes where it's flipped if like animals ate humans, and you see like a human stuck on like a butcher's block and loads of cows with aprons on with their big knives all
Yeah.
gonna eat you for dinner.
Yeah.
Like that's horrifying.
Yeah, but also you would look at a cow and be like, you can't pick up a knife, mate, because those wee. You know, so you'd be sitting
Yeah.
there being like, this is just
You'd
awkward.
be like, I'd like to see you try.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like all they would do, just they could kill you. Though cows kill a lot of farmers with because their bodies are too big for their wee legs. You know, they can't, fall on you.
Do you know what's funny as well? If you were to put an apron on a cows on all fours, she'd have to always put it on their back. You couldn't put it on their belly. Like an apron sits on your belly
Yeah,
and
like
ties
I
at your
remember
back.
I saw a thing. Someone's like, how do cows wear trousers? And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, do they wear them like on all fours? Like if you see a cow like this, right? Say this is the cow. Do you put trousers on so it goes down that way? You know, so if you pop them on like that, or do you put it on like that goes over this bit?
Well, you need to cover your hole.
And I was like, well, you would have covered your hole if it goes that. I suppose your anus would be poking out the top.
You'd have one half of your hole
So
out.
that's what trousers are for. You're saying here trousers are for hole coverage.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's-
yeah.
Right. Okay. So there's the debate sorted. So it'd be
That's why
covering
you
the
keep
hole.
getting lifted.
Fuck. I'm walking around with trousers like this, Mark.
Just covering one leg and an arm.
Yeah. But it's a weird concept, isn't it? And like
Yeah.
I remember somebody saying to me, so again, people have so many arguments that just make me go, what? Like someone's like, in China they fucking eat dogs, all right, that's their culture.
Yeah.
Who are you to say stop eating dogs?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but I wouldn't want my big dog being eaten by a Chinese man.
Well,
And they were like, well, you know, you do stuff here that they don't like in China. And I was like what? And they were like, and I couldn't name anything. They were like,
yeah.
just-
What is it? They do way more shit than we do.
yeah, but and then it's like, but that's their culture. And it's like, well, I don't think it's very cultured. You
No.
know? I heard that the kids shite in bins over there as well.
Do they?
You know, just in the street. Like,
Do your kids not?
No, well, no. Is this just the thing I'm doing wrong? But apparently,
Way more efficient. Cut out the nappy man.
Yeah, but I knew somebody who went to China on holidays. We're walking down the street one day, and this lady just lifted her child over a bin, and it just shit in the bin. And I was like, wow.
But see, come here, that could
That
be
could
an
happen
isolated
anywhere.
incident.
Yeah, I suppose that's
That'd be like
true.
somebody coming here and meeting, like, do you know those fellas from the video that went viral and they were all, you fucking love your McDonald's?
Yeah.
Imagine them going back to China going, they fucking love their McDonald's, and they think that's how everyone is here.
Well, I'd love to hear that in a Chinese accent.
I was about to do it. I thought you can't.
Yeah,
You're not
no.
allowed to.
But it's just so sly, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing, and I think
We
is, like,
do love our McDonald's.
I know we do, but that's the thing. Like, I love my McDonald's so much that that's my New Year's resolution to not eat McDonald's.
Do you know what I think? Fuck it.
I know, but my wee heart needs to not be eating the McDonald's every day. Like,
How often do you have McDonald's?
sometimes, a couple of times a week, and it's
Aye,
only the breakfast.
I definitely do.
You know, it's only the breakfast I
That's
go for.
the shittest
you
bit.
know? It's my favourite bit.
Is it?
Yes.
No, I don't. Do you know what I bought last week? Silicone egg molds so I could make a McMuffin egg. And do you know what?
Does it work?
Can't be done.
No?
They can only do
See,
it. They're the only
yeah.
guys.
No, I agree with that because I've tried it before and it's just never the same.
No.
And it's, do they do it in hot water or something? Because it's never like, there's never that, you know, when you fry an egg, there's like
Sticky
a wee
bit.
bit of brown sort of
I think they're frying on a really good hot plate with oil. Do you like those big silver?
Yeah.
That's what they're not frying it on.
No one has hot plates anymore. It's just an old granny thing, wasn't it? Super Sayers and hot plates.
Sean and I went in to get a fry last week at a wee like local, like a wee greasy spoon
Yeah.
cafe, and I was like, whenever we go out and get a fry, we would always ask, can they just grill it instead? Like do
Yeah.
like a healthy fry instead.
Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna have a fry, can you just grill the sausage instead
Yeah.
of? And the girl was all, I've never been asked that before. I don't know. And I was like, it's 2023 and you've never
Yeah.
been asked to grill a
I
sausage.
love it. She's like, don't know if I can do this.
She was like, I don't know if we can do that. She went and had a speak to the chef. She went and spoke to the chef. The chef came out and she was all, I could probably poach you an egg. And I was like, I mean, I want the full. By the end, I
Yeah.
was like, just fry every fucker and bring it out.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing was then, I realised that the girl serving us and the girl who was the chef was actually mother and daughter, which was very fucking...
All right.
Yeah.
I
And
thought for
between
a
them, they
second-
couldn't grill a sausage.
They're going to tell me they're Chinese.
Yeah.
But no, like that is...
But also, even stranger, in this cafe, no music on. You'd
Really?
hate that. Imagine going
Yeah.
to eat in an establishment and it was quiet.
No, I don't like that at all.
No?
No, I like there to be a wee bit of ambience about the place. And I like
Well,
it.
also just like, so like, yeah, you're not alone with your thoughts.
Was it nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
'cause
fries are nice.
We went to a place on Sunday in Omeath
Yeah.
for a fry.
Omeath?
Omeath, yeah.
Down south?
Yeah, because we were in Carlingford.
Okay.
Or we were in Omeath. We were in Omeath in a mountain cottage with a hot tub. That was a selling point. There's a hot tub. Now, the thing about a hot tub is it's hot when you're in the hot tub, but the location on the side of a mountain in Ireland was
It's
not
freezing,
hot.
yeah.
So like I was like, you know, and then the body's cold and it's horrible. But the next day was great because we went in this cafe, but it was so awkward because like there was this like young woman working there and she was just like dressed like a Kardashian. You know, everything was tight. She was very curvy and stuff. And I got into the booth and like Catherine, and this is the thing, like as a guy you always notice, you know,
Yeah.
you're always like, whoa, but then you can't say anything.
No.
You're with your wife. So then Catherine and her friend were like, do you see her? Do you see her curve? Do you see?
Yeah.
And
You're like, hey.
And me and the other me and the maker were like, where? You know, where?
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
we both gone.
Do you just mean
know?
that 8,
Yeah.
10 out of 10 that we just walked past? No.
Stuff, and then we were like, oh, we can't really, you know, we're obviously not gonna, like, we're not perfect, we're old enough to be our dads, you know, if we had her when we were 4, but you know, we were just minding our own business, it was fine. And she was like, do you want to sit outside? And we went, yeah. So Catherine, the wee seats are wet, so she went and she wiped the seats down. We were like, just do. And then they're like, actually there's a booth inside if you want to go in there. So I went in and like I just got into the booth and scurried on in, and like I was stuck in this booth, and she's like, oh, I'll wipe that table for you. And I was like, oh no. And she just reached right over, and I was like, I didn't know where to look in my eyes because everything was
Reached
just
where?
like, so I was stuck in the booth where I am now, and she had to reach over the table this way to clean it.
This hot girl,
the busty girl, yeah,
the busty,
and it was like, you know, if
when you said curve, I assumed her hip.
her hip and her, it was
hip and a bib?
she was a double she was a double whammy.
She was killing it,
and it was just like I couldn't look, but it must have looked so obvious that I was trying not to look anywhere. So I was like. And Catherine was like, that was uncomfortable for you, wasn't it? I'm like, yeah, because you pointed it out. I didn't know where to look or what to do. Because nowadays, like, you look anywhere, like, you're creeping.
Yeah. But I
even
think these days, like, you can't even like talk to anyone.
Yeah.
Like, if I was single and somebody approached me in a bar and was like, oh, can I take you out? I'd be like, and then murder me? Are you?
Yeah.
Fucking find me on Instagram and message me, you freak.
Yeah.
And then I'll talk to you for 3 weeks and then not go out with you. I don't know how I'd behave if I was single.
No, but like, do you find now that you're so not single that the thought of being single is terrifying?
Absolutely.
No,
I think no matter how unhappy we get, we'll just stay together.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's a good old traditional Irish way. It's like we're miserable, but we're in it, and that's like, because I sometimes think it would be nothing more terrifying now.
It would be terrifying.
Do you remember like whenever the guys were just like flat out killing all the women and stuff for a while, and it was like real hot topics?
They still do that,
but they got to stop. Like, this is like I remember we have had chats about it. Not like Catherine to be like, you need to not be killing anybody.
Yeah.
But I was of the opinion, I'm like, no, not all fellas are bad fellas, but there are ones who are bad eggs.
Yeah.
Now she said to me, like, we sort of agreed on something. I said like, no
murdering.
But you know what I mean. But then it was like, there was that whenever, remember the fella was just fucking about Belfast stabbing people and they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So there's the police put a thing out and was like, women shouldn't go to around this area at a certain time, and then obviously the one side was like, well, why not? We should be allowed to.
Yeah.
But I was like, but there's a guy stabbing people, so you should, you know, don't put yourself in danger if there's a mental person. And Catherine was like, well, you're okay with that, but I think we shouldn't be stabbing people, but also, you know, be
it starts
vigilant.
They say like it starts with young boys. Like, you need to be teaching boys from they're like 2 or 3 to not stab. And genuinely,
that's a mental thing to you need. Remember now, don't you be stabbing anyone.
Jenga comes to me in video games and whatnot. So it was funny because my auntie never, well, she growing up, she would not let her kids play like Call of Duty or like shooting games and killing games online, because she was like, how are we getting fun out of this? This is crazy. So they weren't allowed to have like toy guns in the house and whatever else. And then all her kids are psychos. And I was like, but that worked the opposite way.
Because sometimes if it's like drinking, isn't it? If you're not allowed to maybe have 1 or 2 drinks in the house, you just go out and get fucking wild. So
well, that's it. Well, that's what happened to me, because my ma's diabetic and we weren't allowed sweets, and I went Diona and spent my whole student loan on Haribo.
Yeah. See, being a parent's a fucking minefield. It's hard to know what to teach and what to
I know.
But what Catherine eventually said to me, she was like, there are things guys do that, you know, make women uncomfortable without even meaning to. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, if I was out at night and you were just walking behind me, I'd probably cross the road.
Yeah, I would.
And I was like, but
no, any guy, not just you.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? And I was like, okay. So she's like, and I think now after that, I never even realised until she said, so now I'm the opposite. So like, if I'm out, like, I'll chase. No, I'll cross a road. You know, if there's a woman, and that's like just to go on the other side to be like. And if I'm out walking the dog, I'll be sure to go, good morning. You know, with a smile.
Yeah.
So,
but that's even weirder.
Yeah, but I think
you can't win.
No,
because if I was out on my own at night time and some guy like you was just like walking near me, I'd be like, well, he's obviously going to kidnap me.
Yeah.
But if you were like, just to let you know, I'm not going to kidnap you, I'm just walking my dog, I went, well, no, he's definitely going to kidnap me. And even weirder, the fucker wants me to know about it beforehand.
Yeah. See, I had this backside an awkward moment like last week in the morning. I was walking the dog and I needed to cross the road to get him down onto like the beach, but there's a woman walking along with a yoga mat under her arm, and I was like, I've stopped at the road here, but now I'm stopped at the road here, and she's like there, and she's going to walk, so maybe it looks to her that I'm stopping,
but you were letting her
look
pass
at her, but I was kind of letting her pass. So then when she passed, I crossed, and I was like, oh no, I've crossed too fast here, she's going to think I'm, so I actually then had to walk into somebody's driveway. This is mental. I walked the dog into someone's driveway and stood there, and I counted to 25 in my head, and I walked out again just to be like, you know, because I look the way I look. Like, I look like I would grab you and throw you in a van. And I'm like, and then when I walk the dog, I have like a wee black hat on and a big fucking Adidas coat.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I look like what a stereotypical creep is.
Yeah.
So I overthink it now.
Do you know what's strange too? And the fact that I even know about it as an isolated incident means it doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. Sean, at a media event years ago, got like his arse felt up by a radio presenter here, a woman.
All right.
Do you know, he just was just like, like just like going for it, and he was He felt like completely like, what the fuck? And he
what was she doing? Going for every arse?
her hands were aching by the end of the night. Arse grabbing. And it's like, it does happen the other way around too, but you're almost not allowed to have you're almost not allowed to be annoyed by it when you're a man. You just have to be like, oh, right.
Yeah, because in the midst of everything that was going on, that was like the whole Me Too movement, I was doing a wee short film, and I got my makeup done, got up out of my seat, and she just patted my bum on the end. And I was like, there you go, you know. And then my first thought was if that was the other way around. So I just turned around, grabbed her by the pussy. Just thanks. Yeah.
Tweaked her nips.
There you go, cheers. The makeup's looking good, like, you know, an exercise rope.
I just milked her.
Yeah, no, but it's I just think now it's probably just keep your hands to yourself, isn't it?
I mean, it's the end of civilization as we know it, but that is the safest option.
But you know what?
Keep your hands
like
to yourself.
whenever you sort of first got with Sean or whatever, I first got with Catherine.
We still keep our hands to ourselves.
But you know what I mean? It's like nowadays it feels like you have to, like, you're taking the like spark of spontaneity away too. You know, like, would it be okay? Now I'm considering in my head of kissing you. Would that be okay if you're probably like, that's the ick. You know what I mean? Gross.
That is the ick. And also,
you know?
I think if someone said that to me out loud, like, what do you say? Because if you say yes. Imagine they went, I'm only joking, you're all, oh my.
But then if you have to go like, okay, yes, and then it's like,
it's so awkward. I want to die thinking about it.
It's horrible.
I don't think I've ever been taken out on a date.
Ever? Not even.
Oh, in relationships, but like it doesn't count when you're in a relationship. Yeah. Because you're just going to argue anyway.
True. Yeah, and because do you ever find like when you're like, oh, it'd be nice to get away from the kids for a bit, and then you get away and you're like, I'm just exhausted. Let's go home and go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and then I miss them. Kids are wee fucking mind benders because you're like, fuck, I can't wait to get rid of them. And then you're away for 10 minutes. You're like, oh, I miss them.
Yeah.
You know, when I go home, I'm going to lift her and give her a wee hug.
That's it. Like I was away at the weekend, but only for one night, and then. She would usually get minded. Winter would normally get minded on a Tuesday by her mother-in-law. No, my mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law would be weird if she had one. Like start him young. She's from Lurgan. She got married when she was 8 months.
That's fair.
And yesterday I was like, no, I'm not going to send her to my mother-in-law. I'm just going to like take the day, I can not do work or whatever. And
Mummy
just
daughter day.
Well, and saying that they end up coming down doing Shane's podcast, and Sean was like, you kept her off being minded for you to fuck off anyway. Yeah. But because I had one night away from her, and you missed the wee shits. Yeah. And it was funny because we stayed. Sean and I in winter stayed in the Sleeve Down our night, and
boss bitches,
we night away, and like we were out for our dinner, and I was like, well, just keep, cause we're so strict with her bedtime. She goes to bed every night between 7:15 and 7, and she sleeps right through to the morning, and she's always knackered at that stage. She wants to go to bed then. So I was like, just keep her up. We'll put music on, she can dance about. We'll maybe go down to the bar and have a wee drink, and she can just be in her jammies and run around. 7:15 in our hotel room, she tried to climb into her cot and was all mummy bedtime. Yeah. Put herself to sleep. Sean was asleep by 7:30. I was sat in the Sleeve Downard on my own, like just going like, well, everyone's asleep when it's 7:30. There's your romance.
Yeah, but then you have to get used to that too, because that's what happened to us in the mountain house. We got there, got in the hot tub. When I got out of the hot tub, I was like, well, I'm sleepy. So we were sitting. Normally now what we do, because we know how to party. Us, the two couples. Yeah. We normally play some board games. You know, whatever. Have a few drinks. We forgot the board games, so we just left to talk. And after we were in the hot tub, it was like, we're all a wee bit tired now. So like they have kids exact same age as ours. And
well, none of your kids there?
No.
Oh,
and it was like so. But I ended up sitting in like an old man chair and I just fell asleep in the old man chair for about half an hour. Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, what's he like?" And then when I woke up,
were your arms in your pockets like that?
And then
that's brilliant.
And they were like, "Well." I woke up and was like, well, I'll watch match today. And then the rest of them were like, well, we're all going to bed now. I was like, well, you know.
What I've discovered.
We didn't feel bad about it though. You know, that's the thing. Yeah. Before being like, what a waste. But now it's like, well, that's kind of.
That's exactly life, what you need. That's what it's for. It's for what is it? Re-energizing yourself. But what I think the best thing to do as a parent is to day drink.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Because then you get it. Because I think
drink
that
during
was.
the day, go to bed at your normal time and wake up the next day fine.
See, that was our problem though. We got excited. So on the drive down, I had a few beers. Catherine and her friend Anna in the back and but then Griff was driving, so we got down, went to Carlingford, had a couple of pints, and then back to the house. By that point we were like, you know, I'd peaked in the bars. I went back, I was like, well, the big lure was the hot tub. It's like drinking in the hot tub, but then you get in the hot tub, you're like whole inside cooking, you're roasting and all, and you can have maybe like one drink and you're all lightheaded and all.
Do you can you do a second day now on stuff like that?
Yes, I think we need that, because the first day is going to be a wipeout, and then you need, like, I like to do like grown-up stuff too. Like I like see when I was there, I was like, this is lovely, the hills and all are nice, it would be nice to go for a wee walk here, but then we're going home, so you just went to that fry, that busty woman, and then home.
See, I've never been somebody who can do like a second night on like a hen do, or a second night on a trip or whatever, I'm always just like, I want one night and go home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want the second night where people are still up for it. And you're like, how are you still up for it? I'm so tired now.
See, one of the hardest moments of my life, I was the best man at a wedding, and we had gone, like, stag do's always, first night's always hard.
Yeah.
Everyone's always like more, like passed out in the afternoon, you know, day drinking the works. Next day, I remember we were in this bar, I think it was Hungary. We were either Hungary or Czech Republic. We were in Prague, and we were in this bar to watch rugby, and everyone was just sitting around, like, hugging their pint. And it was like, and I was the best man, so I was like, I need to try and fucking...
Yeah.
But I knew I wasn't...
You weren't bringing
myself. I was like, no. So I was like, right, lads. I was like, give me a countdown. Start at 10 and work around. And I got up and I had this big fucking stein of, like, Prague beer.
Yeah.
And I was, like, necking it and getting them all to kind of cheer and shit. And, like, way too old for that shit. But I remember, whilst I was doing it, I could feel the tears running down my face. Like, I just feel...
What do you mean, like you were sad?
My eyes were watering. They were just watering. And I was like, I don't want to drink this, but I have to do it.
Yeah.
And then when I finished, it was like, way. And I was like, tagged somebody else.
Was it worth
and they did it? It was, because we picked the moods right up. But
you know what I can't wait to? Because obviously when I get this baby out and then a few months back, I can't wait. Like this, I feel like this Christmas is going to be my Christmas. Because a couple of Christmases in a row, I was doing Christmas shows. So you're like exhausted and you're performing every night. You don't get to like go party or whatever, or like go drink, go party. I'm wait, and there'll be no partying happening. But you're like, and then like I was pregnant, the last one had a newborn, the last one, whatever. I'm like, this is the Christmas. I mean, I'll still have a newborn, but whatever. A second time round, but it'll be fine. I feel like I'm just having loads of nights out, and I'm just gonna have a great time, and I'm not gonna be like, I have to be home by 9:30. Like I'm just gonna fucking do it. Like this year. Can I come to the comedians' drinks this year?
Yeah, of course.
I wasn't. Absolutely. I wasn't invited last year.
You know what? You weren't not invited. It was one of those things that was like, it was an awkward thing to do because people would get offended and blah, blah, blah. So I said, this is what's happening. We're going to meet here and whoever wants to come is welcome.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get that information, but I was also pregnant.
Yeah, but we put it out to people to pass, you know, it could be passed on.
I would like to come this year and watch people break their legs.
Yeah, no, I'd gone by that point, thankfully.
Right.
You know, I actually had seen that whenever I went to the toilet. In fact, I went to see Tim out because we have to look after the elderly. So I saw him out, and then as I came back, I sort of peeked, you know, around the curtain at Lavery's. Yeah. And I could see tops were off, boys were dancing on the stage, and I went, I think this is my time to go.
We buy out,
Yeah, I think I'll sneak away.
Watch The American Office?
No, I haven't actually, but I will start.
There's a start just so you get this reference. It's on season 14.
I'll give you a ring in like 2025. Yeah. I've seen it. I
get it now. It's like when they say if you want to be part of a night out but you're not drinking or you're not like really that up for it, you have to like be part of a group photo.
Yeah.
One. Witness like a memorable part of the night that's happening so that you can be involved in that conversation afterwards. And then there's another point as well, I think, like, I don't know, punch someone, whatever it is. But like, you know, that's like, if you hit those points, people won't really realise the next day that you weren't part of the main night.
Yeah. No, that's a wise move. But I think like I've done a couple, I don't mind not drinking if like people are coming to the house.
Yeah.
But see, going on a night out not drinking, you just get so bored so quick, and you're like, right, I'm away. If the car, like the car's
Do you know what
out
happens
there,
to me? I get starving.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, well, this is now supper time, and everyone else drinks through supper time, but you're like, but it's 9 o'clock. I should be having some cheese and toast.
Yeah, no, I'm away. But I just can't. I don't know. I think whether it's to do with lockdown or other stuff, but I just am so content in my gaff. You know, like, I'm happy in the house. I like it there. I like the one that see when the kids are in bed. I don't know. Like I find that it takes me like a wee half hour when I go to bed to almost like decompress and be like, right, what am I going to have some time to myself? I'm going to go make dinner. I'm going to do a bit of work, do some chores, or what I'm going to do. You know. And
do you know what? Sean thinks I'm pure. Like Sean, thinks I'm like snobby about hotels and stuff or about where we stay, which I'm not at all. But at the older I've gotten, I'm like, I like my house, and I've made my house look nice, so I like how it looks, and it's comfortable. And I don't want to go to a hotel that's shitter than my house. Yeah. Otherwise, what is the point?
Yeah.
If it's in this country, if it's not a reason, if it's like a night away, why would I go to somewhere that's shitter than my house?
See, that's a good point. Well,
do you know what I mean?
Because like I've got that with beds now, because we're very particular about getting our new bed, and we're like, it had to be this and it had to be that, and it was quite dear, but it's a good quality bed.
Yeah.
And like if you go somewhere else and the bed's not as good, you're like, well, I went away to get rest. This bed's not as good as my own bed.
Well, you've reminded me, because I do need to phone the sleep donor and be like, where do you get your beds? Where do you get your mattresses? Where do you get your pillows? Because I need to like put those all in my bedroom.
It's got to be a king coil mattress. They're the
king coil.
King coil are the good ones. They're big.
What you talking?
They're probably. I think our bed was somewhere in the region of maybe 2 or 3 grand.
Including the mattress?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is dear, but it's worth it if you're,
Because again, my problem is I've just broken beds from being heavy, just doing, like, I remember once I put my knee on the bed to set up a thing of washing on it, and I just broke the whole bed. The whole divan just broke. Like, whenever we were
And you wonder why women are worried about you in the street.
Yeah, I know.
You can break beds with your knee.
My knee, but then, like, when I was in the bed, place telling the guy, I was like telling that story, and he was like, "Yeah, because," and this must be a common thing in the world of beds. He was like, "Yeah, because you're putting your," it's like it's like martial arts. You're putting the weight
in the middle of the plank of wood
on the knee, but the knee is a pressure point. If you that is an impact part. If you're leading with the knee, you'll break stuff. And I was like, "All right." I said, "Well, I want the divan."
I want to see that guy's basement. Like,
he knows too much.
He knows too much about kneecapping.
But like I said, like I would like a bed that if I want, I can bounce on it and won't break. And you know what he said to me? Divans aren't made of titanium, mate. And I went, well, give me the closest thing, please. You know, so we got the base and I got the mattress. Now again, I have no understanding of cost of things. And Catherine's terrible for like being like, because I went and got in this bed and it was really nice, and I was like, how much? And he was like, well, that'll be $8,000. I was like, go ahead, let's get it. And she was like, no, that's a ridiculous amount of money for that. I was like, all right, because I'm a grown up.
Sean thinks you can get everything for a $5.
Yeah, but I just think, like, if people tell me it's a price, I'm like, all right, let's. And
I'll believe that guy.
I'll be like, let's go for it.
Like, they've been selling beds all day. They know the price.
Exactly. But then he tried to tell me, oh, this bed's solid and there's drawers in it, because Catherine was like, we need a couple of drawers for like towels. Yeah. And I was like, and then the guy actually leant into me. This is another thing. You're putting your
towels in a drawer?
Yeah. But the guy goes to me, he goes, the drawers actually make it sturdier. And I went, how? And he was like, and then again, this is the knee guy. He was like, well, because around it, you think about it, if you just have a divan, it's just the divan side, where if you add the drawer, although it's cut, there's another supporting part to it. And I was like, all right, just get it.
That's a weak effort at sales. That's like when I used to work in Debenhams, and I used to tell everyone the foundations have vitamins A, C and E, so they're actually quite nourishing and anti-aging. So whilst you're wearing the makeup, you're turning back time.
You're
making it up. Making it all up. Every single person I've ever sold makeup to, I made it up.
But you sold, didn't you? No, that's what sales is all about.
I mean,
like you look at it, you look at all the people nowadays. I spoke about this on my Patreon podcast this week. Like all these people, like gurus, and trying to do this and do that and improve your life. All these PTs. You want to earn 6 figures? They all talk shite, and people just go, okay.
I know.
You know, because see if you say to somebody, you're not motivated, you go, no, I'm not motivated. They go, be more motivated, and you go, okay, and then you be more motivated
for 5 minutes.
But then you go, I do actually get more stuff done because I'm actually not sitting on my arse being lazy.
Yeah,
you know, that's all they need to do. And because people see a little bit of an improvement, they go, oh, aye, this works. Spoof.
It's about forming habits.
Yeah,
and those are psychological and actually quite linked to trauma.
So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you know, like you see people, they're like pyramid schemes a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Where they're like, if I can transform your life if you give me $2,000, and then you know what happens then is you will live a life of luxury because you'll convince 10 other people to give you $2,000, and then they'll convince 10, and then everyone thinks they're living a happier life, but you've all just convinced each other to give everybody money. Because
that's what happened whenever Catherine was like, oh, there's this person I know is they're like nephew or something's doing a like financial advice.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's willing to do it for free, you know, and it's like, we may as well, because this is just
he should give himself financial advice and charge.
But I think he was training, you know, so I think she was like, you know, you're just doing, you know, just after I'd gone full time, so she's like, you know, it wouldn't hurt us to just see. And I went in, and I was like, you know what, it was interesting to listen to the guy to say, and he was like, no, because this is just, you know, I'm training or whatever, and this is just like advice I'm giving you, it's not like if you could like recommend and as soon as he was like, can you recommend, I went, that's it, no, I know what this is, and I'm not falling for it, you know, but people do.
But also, you should build him, I can recommend you in 10 years time when I see the fruit of your labour. If I haven't ballsed up my finances in 10 years, that's when I'll recommend you. Well, until then, like, I'm still spending $8,000 on a bed.
Because like all his advice to me was like, you need to do less McDonald's. I do need to do less.
Where do you spend most of your money? McDonald's?
My money, probably, you know what, I am actually bad with money, you know, I pay all my bills, but then like there was a point whenever I'd stopped the day job, I was just going doing gigs and then just giving gig money directly to Catherine and being like, that's sure my keep and all, and then I'd be going, I have no money, and she'd be like, you're giving me all your money. I was like, oh yeah, oops. Forgot about that, because I've just been used to before having my work money and then gig money going to the family.
But where do you spend your money stupidly? Like where
coffees?
I'm the same. Sean's the same.
Coffees, wee breakfast teas, meeting
Yeah.
people, you know.
Eating out.
And yeah, that's where and then the
Do you know how much my groceries cost in my house a month?
£400.
£800 on groceries. That's
Yeah.
before we eat out.
But
I would say
you've a lot of grown
there's
boys in there
so
too,
many people in my
though,
house
you
I
know.
can't keep up. But like then if we like eat out or like takeaways and coffees, like I'd say there's no way we spent less than £1,200-1,300 a month on food.
You know, another thing which is a shit thing that I am terrible for is like we'll do our weekly grocery shop, but if I need wee bits and bobs, I'll pop to like the co-op
And buy loads of extra shit.
Like buy one bag of stuff and it's 30 quid. You're like, you could have, you know, gone to like Tesco's, Lidl or somewhere and got your
2 bags of
you know,
stuff.
and you're like,
What I did recently was, this is so boring, but I wrote out a big list of like these are the dinners for the week and
Yeah.
stuck it on the fridge and then did the shopping accordingly and it was fucking great.
can I give you a recommendation of something that I did?
Yeah.
And this again for anyone looking this is a life hack podcast today. All
Yeah.
right. I saw a nice wee like whiteboard
Yeah.
on like a week whiteboard, and I bought it and I just stick it to your fridge.
Yeah.
So it's like a magnet. And, I
And you
stuck
write
it in
down
the
the
fridge.
meals?
So we're planning the meals. So
Yeah.
when you're trying to diet, that helps. But also on that, we now do we write a V, 2 V's, one for the morning, one for, so if you feed Vinny, you wipe it off so we
Alright.
don't overfeed him. And then we've got an L and a D on each. So one's like lights and darks for the wash.
I
so
thought
we
it was going to
only
be
do-
lunch and dinner.
No, so
Jeez, that's a lot going on in that
and then
whiteboard.
On the other side of the whiteboard, there's a list. So if you run out of something in the fridge, you write it on what you need. So when you go to the shop, you're not just
Do you ever
wasting-
leave passive aggressive messages on it to each other? Like, yeah, I did feed Vinny.
No, like what I would do with Catherine would be like, is dog fed? And I'd be like, well, have you checked the whiteboard? And she'd be like, oh no. I go, well, there you go.
Yeah, the whiteboard's
Yeah.
in place, so you don't have to
I
communicate.
know, it's like, it's there for
We
a
have an
reason.
app. Sean and I have an app on our phone that we put in like things that are happening, so that we don't have to talk to each other.
Yeah. See, we have the old school like family planner in the back of the door of the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm very old school. I don't like the joint
Do you have a
apps and everything.
calendar up?
We have a calendar up, and it's got 5 names on it. So it's got the family and then the dog. So if he's got the vets or something, we'll be like Vinny vets, you know, stuff like that, all in there. So it's more for her to know what I'm gigging, really.
Yeah. So she can
You know.
plan the booking around
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Get the
like-
guys home.
Yeah, because there's one day, actually, I don't know if you ever do this too, but I do it all the time. Like if Catherine's going out with her mates, I love it because then I've
The whole night to yourself.
I can do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, maybe get a pizza on, watch a film that I want to watch. You know, and then whenever the mates cancel, you're raging.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I could spend the night with you," and you're like, "But I've already
Yeah,
fantasized
we've got our
what my
whole
night is."
lives. I just
Yeah.
wanted one night.
I know, and then you like really resent them passive aggressively. You know, you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, fuck
Sean's
me."
out in Lavery's tonight and tomorrow night, and then I'm like, well, what will I do with my night? I know what
Yeah.
I'll do.
Go to
Sleep.
bed early.
Let's go to bed at 7:30. Yeah.
No, I'm in Lavery's tonight actually and tomorrow.
Are you
Yeah.
with Sean? Well, obviously.
I was with Sean on Sunday in Thornbury's. Really enjoyed
Great
it.
gig. I did the last one.
Really enjoyed it.
Although I was really sick at food poisoning, and I was like, everyone must thought I was a cheeky bitch because I literally was like upstairs going, "Don't talk to me, don't
Yeah.
talk to me." I'm so sick, and I didn't speak to anybody hardly. And then I went on the gig, but it was
Yeah.
great.
But I loved it because
Yeah.
again, I have like a history with Lisburn that I hated it. I spoke about it last week in the podcast. I'll not go over it again, but I'm over Lisburn now. I just didn't like it because I lived in Bangor. Was sent to work there. You know, it's an hour there, an hour back,
Yes.
bit of a melt.
Yeah.
But
And as we've established, you don't like to leave Bangor.
no, I don't. You know, I don't. I like even coming here in Hollywood, still North Down, but
They need you in Bangor.
I need to be by the sea. You know, I'm like Ariel. I can only be so close.
Would you ever move to a different country?
No. Well, yeah, probably.
Where to?
Well, Catherine, again, as she's the main breadwinner, is talking about at some time, she's like, I would like to nurse in America for a bit. I'd be like, I could work there.
They
I
need
could go
they
over.
need nurses.
Yeah, they go over. She could nurse for a bit. I could like go and, you know.
Is there not a different science you have to learn? I think there's a different thing.
Yeah, but she says that you can learn it and all, and they pay for it, certain things. So I was like,
Imagine she got there and they were like, "Oh no, we don't do stitches there to there. We do them right to left."
well, I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and you fuck
yeah.
it up.
And or she ended up like working in like a Hasidic Jew hospital. And they're like, we don't actually use this at all in our culture, so it's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's nose pegs.
But you know what? I think like I'm again. It's like I'm happy where I am, and I think COVID has made the world smaller.
Yeah.
too. So you think like you could go and work wherever the work is really, but
Mm-hmm.
also I wouldn't mind. Like I don't know. There are obviously now. Don't come after me here, but there must be places in the world better than Bangor somewhere. I've just never seen it yet.
Yeah.
But like there
It
must
probably
be.
exists.
And like if we go to and maybe I like it better, who knows?
But is it not something like, I mean, would you want warmer weather? Or do you care? I mean, you're in your shorts all the time anyway.
I do like, but then there's nothing more I love than Bangor in the summertime. So maybe there's somewhere like Bangor in the
na
summertime.
na
all year
na
round.
na na na.
Yeah, exactly. But
Is that even the right song?
yeah,
What song's that?
It's a 5-1. Well, you got the feeling.
That's
jump
not what
up
I
to the
went to.
ceiling now, but get down tonight.
That's not what I
What
was trying to
song?
sing. I was singing, it's not when it's all, then in the summertime.
I'm sure there's a song out there that you could. Could get to go. It's summertime. Yeah.
But there was one. It was like na 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 na.
No.
Do you know in my head I'm
See
all
if any
I
listener
could sing a
knows.
song and then I start doing it out loud and I'm all, don't do that.
No. See if anyone knows what that song is, please, in the comments.
Do you ever type into Google like a thing going, what's that song? Na 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 na, and then like you type it in and there's a fucker who knows
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's on like a Reddit and they'll be like, how do people get that?
No, because like that's what I never have on my phone because I think it's AI. But there's what that thing, Shazam.
Brilliant.
Oh, it makes my days.
You can sing into it.
Yeah, can you do that now?
Yeah, well, you could do it then as well.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you just play it in
No, but you
bars.
could also just be like, na 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 na, and they'll be all, we think it's about the summertime.
Because I would be up in bars being like, just like going to someone else, they'd be at a full table, but they'd be sitting beside speakers, and I'd be like, what are you doing? They're just Shazamming.
Yeah, like there's that guy that
but
tried to kidnap me this morning.
I heard 2 nice songs at the weekend when I was away, and
What's your favourite song?
My favourite song is probably I Miss You by Blink-182. It's probably my favourite song.
I don't know what that is.
But I Miss You. Don't waste your time.
On
Yeah.
me. Do
But
you know
yeah.
what came on my playlist on the way down here today? And I was like, so I always listen to 2000s bangers
Yes.
because them's the best. And apparently, scientifically, factually, and focus grouply, you don't listen to new music. Very, very rarely do you listen to new music after you turn 26.
I believe that.
So the music is like the music that you love that sticks in your head is
Yeah.
all the songs from before you were
Because
26.
there was a song. What did I download the other day? It was an old song. You know, Evanescence, Bring Me to Life.
Brilliant song.
Heard that and I was like, that's a great song.
I had it on my
Downloaded
birthing
it.
playlist.
Yeah.
Didn't listen to it, but I was like, bring me back to life.
That would be a real intense song to be
Yeah.
going to.
Because your man's like go like, duh, duh,
Wake me up.
Yeah. Wake me up inside. Do you know what I had on the way down here? And I was like, and then I listened to 10 songs after it and had to go back and listen to it again because I was like, no song beats this. Kanye West in his style, American Boy.
That's a nice tune. Yeah.
Fucking Beezer tune.
Yeah, but you can't listen to Kanye anymore because he definitely doesn't like the Hasidic Jews.
No, he's not a fan.
He's not a fan. No. Maybe that's a subtle way to say it. He loves deodorant, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes a roll-on and a spray. He doubles
Maybe
up.
that's all he's trying to say.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe Kanye's just like not well.
Well, of course.
You know, but everyone's like ruin his whole life. But he said horrible things. But maybe he's like needs to go to like see a doc.
I think sometimes you can do whatever you want as long as you just give music.
Yeah, because that's what gets him away. Like
Michael
look at
Jackson,
Michael Jackson.
not bothered. No, I'm
Yeah.
joking. I mean,
But that's true because like you look at some of the nonces who get into trouble.
yeah.
And like if you're a shit nonce like Jimmy Savile, you know, you're like
People hate you, but
Yeah.
if you're R. Kelly,
Yeah.
you got the tunes.
I know because I don't. This is the thing. I know I've said this before. Sometimes you argue cases or you like. I don't exactly know what R. Kelly's done wrong. Maybe that's
Elia, she was 14. He was booking her.
right. Okay, but where's she now?
Dead.
There you go. So R. Kelly won. Aliyah
So
nil.
is it okay to be a pedo if they die soon
Yes.
after?
If you get them killed, yeah, it's sweet.
It's like, yeah, it was pedo winner, but she's dead now.
Don't worry
so
about it. It's all good. It's slate's wiped clean.
We've covered it. Yeah. We've cleaned up
No,
our
but
tracks,
like,
yeah.
he did all that pissing and stuff. I know he did that. Like, he's definitely a perv. But I remember the only article I read was about this woman was like, he was so coercive when he kept me a prisoner. And then they were like,
Why?
but then they were like, but could you go out? And she's like, well, if I wanted to leave, like I could not. And then I was like, what did he?
Then you get, no, it's all in your head. And her head, and their head, his head. I don't know, some his
Yeah.
head. Do you know what's worse than that? Probably not worse, like legally, but just as bad is a fucking borderline nonce, like Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh, yeah.
where you're like, if you could get away with it, mate, you would be
Yeah.
booking somebody who was 16, but you're
Yeah.
staying right above the legal age limit so that you don't get jailed.
But when do you think there's an upper limit to whenever, like, to the age you are, to the people you date? Like, do you think, like, for example, like, I'm 36. If I dated, like, a 20-year-old, you'd be like, you're an nonce. You know?
Yes. No, yes, I would. Yeah.
So, but I'm 36. So
But
go
I
back
don't
to-
think the age. I don't think
Yeah.
it's like they're 16 years. I think the other person that you're dating has to be so far away from their adolescence. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't used to be a child last week.
All right.
Do you know what I mean?
Say they can't used to be a child, but everyone used to be. Yeah. You know.
But they can't just have been a child
Yeah.
2 seconds ago.
That's
they
fair.
can't remember their fucking GCSE maths teacher's name.
Yeah.
Do you remember your GCSE maths teacher's name?
Yes, Miss Swain.
Mine's Mr. Bridges too.
This is the worst theory ever.
Imagine if that was the criteria. You were in a bar roll. Do you remember your GCSE maths teacher's name? If you do, we can't book.
But it is such a weird, because again, I look at it too, like, see, whenever I was 16, I looked like I was 30. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I was a pube guy.
Yeah.
You know, some people
You're
are
a
like
pube guy.
a pube guy. Like I had puberty. Like I remember this is
I mean, pubes happened way before 16.
no, but like I was like a man by then. Like I had puberty when I was about 10. Like I remember shaving my legs and armpits because none of the other boys had pubes. You know, like how
They
sad
certainly
is
didn't
that?
have them on their legs.
You know, like yeah, they no pubes in their legs. So I was like shaving my. Like I was using my mum's like flipping thing in the bath secretly, like dry and all, no cream.
Oh
just,
yeah, I did that.
just so as I didn't, you know.
Yeah.
And then the one thing that I just was too proud to shave was some sideburns, so I got everything else but these sweet pointed.
Oh my god,
sideburns.
you were one of the Amish guys.
Yeah.
You're the OG Amish.
Yeah, but that was looking back, I was quite sad. You know,
Yeah.
like I was like, oh no, something wrong with me. I was shaving my hair and all.
Do you know, I remember thinking it was the coolest thing ever. We were about 16 and we were out in a bar, me and my best friend at the time. We're still best friends, we haven't fallen out, but she's not my only best friend now.
Right, because I'm your best friend.
Yeah, because you're my best friend now. And we went out to a bar and we met our maths teacher, Mr. Bridges, in the bar, and he bought us a round of drinks. Not in a pervy way, not in a. He was just like cool as fuck, and he was just like dead on. He's like, I get it. You're 16, you're at a bar, whatever. Here, have some Dovey that I've put reviews in.
But basically, that's illegal what he's done.
Yes.
Because he knows you're underage. You say
Yeah.
he's spiking you. Imagine
Yeah.
if you went.
Can't remember nothing for a week. Got real good at times tables.
Yeah, if you went to your headmaster and said, Mr. What's his name, gave us, you know, he'd be sacked.
Yeah.
You know.
I've just outed him, so hopefully he's maybe dead now, and he's doesn't matter.
It's always like I actually saw my P2 teacher when I was out walking the dog here, and I wanted, like, I looked at her and I wasn't actually, it was weird, it wasn't her I recognised, it was her daughter who was like the year above me at school, and I was like, that's fuck, you're still alive, because you were like, do you find
you
like,
expect them to be, because they were old then.
yeah, but then they're probably like 40. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
But
yeah.
At the time I was like, she looked like 80.
Yeah.
Which is,
Well, people when they were so say this was the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
when people were 40 in the 80s, they looked 80.
yeah, it's true.
Whereas now, if you're 40,
Yeah,
like, we're not a kick in the hip,
no.
and we're killing it.
Yeah, but have you felt like the older you've got, the more life you feel you have to lead? Because like whenever I was 18, I was like 36 is old as fuck. You're over the hell. You're done. Whereas now I'm 36. I'm like, oh, so much more to go. I'm still quite young. I think.
Well, the way I
in
think
the
you
grand
should
scheme.
look at it is when you've just turned 18, right, and then
Yeah.
like 36, you've only done 18 years of adulting.
Yeah.
Before that didn't matter, you were a wee child. So you're really only 18 years into your adult life.
Yeah.
And that goes on for like another 50 years.
If you're lucky, touch wood.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. If we cut down the McDonald's.
Yeah, the McDonald's are cut down. That's a good thing. You know, at least I'm sticking to that. But then I was just sick from November to like the middle of February. But now I'm feeling good.
I'm booking myself in today for a full MOT.
With Randox or that
Yeah.
sort, yeah.
I'm going to book in. Me and Sean, as well, Sean, we should be doing this every year.
Yeah.
Where you go and you just get all your shit done and they tell you what you need.
I would like to have something put in my bum, I think.
Yeah.
You know, that colonoscopy. I think
But then
that's
also
important.
have a health check.
Yes, afterwards I'll be like, listen, I'm looking something in my bum.
Yeah.
But then what happened to me was like I went to the asthma clinic and then they told me some things that I didn't want to hear and I was like, I'll not be back to the asthma clinic for a while.
But what do you mean? They told you you have asthma?
No, they were like, you've asthma. They were like, well, you're a bit heavy. I was like, well, I know that. And then they were like, your blood pressure is a wee bit high, so maybe lose weight. And I was like, well, yeah. And then they were like, you should be, and they told me a weight. They're like, you should be like BMI or whatever. They're like, you should be 16 stone. And I was like, I would need to remove everything on my body.
Don't believe in
You know?
BMIs.
But then I did the thing, you know, where they give that thing to you and you go like,
Yeah.
and that, and then they're like, actually, no, that's a good lung capacity you have. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, there you go.
So you're not, your lungs
Yeah.
aren't in any danger?
No, they're fine. But I'm not rushing to go back because I've not lost enough weight yet. I'm like, fuck. It just made me feel shit again.
Do you mean they'll just say it again?
Yeah, and I'm like, I know. You don't need to say it. But I do want to have something in my
I
bum.
want to go, what's the bum going to do?
Because then they look at like if you've got like prostate cancer and all that stuff.
Oh,
and,
you want to know that?
And like colonoscopies are useful to have. And guys nowadays are against stuff going up their bum. But I think you need it.
Yeah, I want to go and for them to like take bloods and urinal, and then for them to be like, oh, here, you need this, this, and this, and you'll feel brilliant every day, all day. You'll have loads of energy. Because I hate the way I saw a video this morning. It was like a man had went to his GP and he was like, I'm knackered and I've like whatever. I used to be able to exercise in the morning. Now, obviously, I have 2 toddlers, but I used to be able to get up and exercise. Now I don't have the energy to do anything. And they looked into it and he had whatever, they had to give him supplements for whatever, and now he feels great. And his wife went to the doctors and she was saying the same things: chronic tiredness, no libido, like whatever. Yes, I have 2 wee kids and have like pains in my stomach all the time. And they went, yeah, welcome to motherhood, and sent her home. And she ended up getting to do private investigations and found out she had an infection in her C-section scar that was leading her to be knackered.
See?
But because the guy was like, they didn't treat him as a parent when he went in,
Yeah.
but they treated the woman
Yeah.
as like, well, you're only knackered because you've got 2 kids. But for him,
Yeah.
do you mean? So I don't want someone to go to me, well, you're knackered because you've got kids.
Yeah.
I want someone to go to me, you're knackered because you need this magic pill.
Yeah. You got a zinc deficiency.
You've got a zinc deficiency. You need more iron.
Are you wearing deodorant?
Yes.
No, but I just mean like the Jewish people. They'd be like, you're not wearing.
Oh
deodorant.
right,
You know,
I was like, yeah, because I put my hand in here, so I
Yeah, it's like-
fucking smell. I so I actually did do a roll on today. Then.
No, but yeah, I just think like I would go once I get myself sorted a bit. You know, I just feel now it'd just make me feel sad, and then it would do me more damage mentally. Than
Well, why don't you just go in and go? Just don't talk to me about weight. What else can we talk about here?
I know, and they'd be like, well, everything else would be better if you weren't as fat.
For
I
fuck's
know.
sake.
But you know what? I'm going to go and exercise in my garage when I go home. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because I have a garage.
Is your garage? It's not gonna hurt your chest. Is your garage not cold?
Yeah, but I've got a wee heater in there.
Yeah, because I find if you exercise in the cold, your wee chest gets sore.
Yeah, I have a wee heater in there, and I have a freezer. So if it gets too hot, I can just
You open the
my
freezer.
head in the
Do
freezer.
you know what the fanciest thing I've ever seen was? Whenever Sean and I were on our honeymoon, right? There was we were in the cruise and there was a gym on it. And we used to go to the gym because we were like eating like fuck constantly. So we'll go to the gym as well. So we were going to the gym and they had a fridge with wet, like face towels
Towels, yeah.
rolled up. They were all dead cool. You
Yeah.
could go in and prong one out and kill yourself down. And I was
Very
like,
nice.
we have arrived.
Yeah,
We
that
are
is nice.
living.
Tell you what, speaking of training and Sean and stuff, has he been doing the bicep curls? Because whenever he won that fight and he did that, he looked jacked. He looked good
Sean
neck,
has had them set of biceps forever.
but they look bigger than usual. They look
He's
pumped. They
well
look pumped
because
up.
he was training a lot.
Yeah.
But Sean has fantastic arms, always has.
Yeah.
There's not a pack of fat in Sean either. Like he's just built. He's just a muscly guy.
He's jacked, dude.
He's just jacked out guy. He's in great shape, and
can't-
it's so hard to be pregnant around someone like that.
He's like, whoa, he's just,
He's just a good
just
looking
so
guy.
jacked all the time.
But do
Whoa.
you know when you're all like just like squidgy and like pregnant, and you're just all. Ugh.
Like, I'm not even pregnant. I'm just squidgy, but I totally feel you.
You're not though. You're like a muscle guy.
I used to be. I'm not anymore. I'm just a fat guy now.
No, you're not.
I've no power in me.
That's not who you are. You don't identify as a fat guy.
No, I've got a big man in me somewhere, and I just need to bring him out.
I mean, haven't we all?
Yes. Right, let's do some questions.
Okay.
What
What way did you say questions?
look,
Let's do some questions.
Look, our butler's just sent me. Very funny. Right, questions. Let's see. Naomi Mitchell is always sent something pervy. Can you Google it? Because I don't want to get arrested. She says, have a Google at iglooing.
Iglooing? like igloo?
Like igloo, ing, yeah.
This is just something she's discovered today, and it's clearly thinking. Here, the reception in this room is very bad for me.
Right, well, I'll do it because I've got the internet in here.
Okay.
Do Hasidic Jews wear deodorant? No, we'll say iglooing. Iglooing somebody. It's a slang term for a girl that 2 or more friends are Eskimo brothers with.
How do you be an Eskimo brother with someone?
Stop giving me all these difficult terms to look up.
They must be bucking on the ice.
Hold on. Oh no. Iglooing is to shit in a condom and freeze it, thus creating a fecal dildo.
It would get softer the longer you use it. Inside
Yeah.
the female vagina is a warm place.
Yeah.
I
When
imagine.
one man has a big shit and another man wraps it, why does there have to be another man wrapping it in cling film? Why can the guy doing the shit not wrap his own shit? Like, why is there a supply? Why is it a booge of shit? You know?
Why? Imagine that phone call to your mate going, could you come over? According to the internet, I
Yeah.
need someone else to wrap
Yeah.
it.
I'm like, listen, do you want pinto rice for that? No, just wrap it up and stick it in the freezer.
I think the suggestion is that them two is going to use it.
Yeah, hold on. He wraps it in cling film and puts it in the freezer. So, let me get this straight. So, it's not an instant thing. So, you're going to have to poo, wrap it in cling film, then put it in your freezer and
And
have time
wait.
to think about it.
Aye. Like, how long does poo take to freeze? Because
I don't know, 'cause it's
sometimes,
not-
some things take longer than others.
Yeah, like, I imagine the poo would be similar to, like, the consistency of, like, a Ben and Jerry's. You know, so it can be
Yeah,
really
it'd be
hard.
like,
and
it'd be like a froyo. Oh no, harder than that.
yeah, but then you leave it out for 10 minutes and you can still struggle to spoon it out.
Whenever our nephew years ago, Sean and I taught him to put his shitty nappies in the freezer because we thought it'd be funny. And his mum and dad find shitty nappies all the time in the freezer.
Right,
do it
well,
now.
there's more to this story. When one man has a big shit, then another man wraps it in cling film and puts it in the freezer. Once hardened, the second man then proceeds to put it back up the first man's arse.
Die.
So it's the same man's shit going up his
Aye.
own arse.
Oh at least use somebody else's shit.
Yeah, like don't put your own shit up your arse. I mean, it's worse to put someone else's shit up your own arse.
But is that not like a fucking, what do you call, like a cow eating or like a do you like a chicken eating an egg? Like he spit his own shit that came out of him back up inside him.
Yeah, but that would kind of be like a guy eating his own shit then. It'd be like a chicken shoving an egg back up his arse.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. That's so stinking.
But you know the way in Urban Dictionary there's a wee like saying afterwards is how it explains how it works in a sentence. Lee has a sore arse because last night him and Ben were iglooing. I know has SARS.
Has SARS?
No, it's no, it says.
Oh, it's sore arse.
Someone spelled it wrong. Where it's saw arse.
Oh, okay.
Iglooing, the correct definition.
Oh, you need to Google saw arse now.
An iglooing practitioner is to freeze a stool, then insert it in your partner's rectum, thus causing waves of chilling tension in the coming process. But could you not just put a dildo in the freezer if you want to get the?
Did you just hit your steps?
Did I? Why?
I heard your phone. No. Oh, right. Just sometimes you hit your steps and you're like moving, you're all
and
okay.
A disco ball goes off and but yeah,
I'll not be doing any iglooing anytime
you know
soon.
What?
Too cold.
You know what?
Too
And
shit.
see all this people are like, oh, we had sex here and there in a bed.
I agree.
There you go. That's what it's there.
No, come here. See all this like up a fucking up a top of a tree, and you're like, but that's not. Surely no one's enjoying that.
No, up in the trees are for fucking red pandas, and that's it.
Yeah,
no
that's it.
No bombing up a tree.
Like no one's enjoying that.
No, and I agree with you 100%. And you know what? That question's perturbed me. You know me. Mark has a quick question for you. He goes, do you have any comedy icks? And if you were to give advice to new comedians, what would it be? So
my comedy ick is people doing other people's material.
yeah, it's pretty annoying.
Do you know what I mean? They annoy me, Rob.
Yeah.
That's not yours on stage.
Yeah. Comedy icks is a good question. 'Cause I remember, like, are there things that people do that annoy you? Or like you see someone, you're like, oh, I don't like that particular trait or that thing.
Do you know what I don't like? Is overconfidence. I think it's when somebody comes off stage and they tell everyone about how they took the roof off the place in those words, or they fucking killed it, smashed it, and they've absolutely no humility about like how could they improve. And not that they even need to be, not that somebody would need to come off stage and be like, oh, I could have done better. Like, come off and enjoy the fact if you've done well, but coming off and being like, I fucking took the roof off and all that makes me want to die inside.
Yeah, like you didn't, when you say that, you'd never have actually done it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like,
I've never seen a roof come off any place.
And if it did, you get a good claim.
Yeah.
You know, but what about advice for new comedians? I have actually something that sort of is, it's not maybe an ick, but it sort of leads into it. I think people nowadays are putting too much effort into like recording sets, not to get better, but to like to
have
look
clips.
for clips. But then sometimes the clips aren't that good. So if you record a set, by all means, look it back. You know, go back. But rather than people are like doing it just to get clips, and I think it's
frustrating though, because we do live in a world where they're like, you have to have loads of stuff online, but it's so hard to keep up that content, so you do end up putting up, people can end up just putting up absolute shit. But I agree, it's like there's constant clips now of live comedy clips. And then it's like everything too, everything's always in a wave and a phase, and then it gets boring after a while, you know what I mean? And it's like, if you keep putting clips, because again, I've used the phrase before, it's very, very motivational speaker style, but it's like people are nowadays focused on content and not content. Yes.
You know, putting stuff up for the sake of putting stuff up without
not
mattering
the quality of it.
it is. You know, and sometimes like I see clips of like people putting crowd work up, and I would go, why have you put that up? Like, don't, because in the long run I think it'll hurt people. Like if people go back and look at it, just, you know, so
my advice would be, if they don't laugh, find a new audience.
That's good. Yeah,
because somebody will find it funny somewhere.
Yeah, that's fair. And you know, another thing I would say to people, advice would be slower. Yes. You know, sometimes I'm like, who are you, Twister? You know,
that's like me. It's like, that's me. Constant. Like I was saying earlier on about whenever I was recording an episode of The Blame Game, and Jackie, who's the producer, rang me afterwards when the guys in the BBC are subtitling for the iPlayer, and he was like, can we play a clip to you down the phone here, and can you tell us what you're saying? They were all in the room at the time, it goes, the fact is it got a laugh, so it's going into the edit, but we don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And he repeatedly played that clip to me, and I hadn't a notion what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I obviously wrote the joke before I went out.
Yeah.
Still didn't even know which one it was. It's all saying of all my reference notes here. I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
So you
just-
couldn't even translate yourself?
No. Hadn't a notion what I was saying. And it was like, I got a laugh, we'll just stick it in and put no subtitles below it.
Yeah.
I goes, and let's hope it's not offensive. And I went, well,
Yeah.
your funeral.
On your head be it.
I don't know what the fuck I was saying. Somebody somewhere is going to go, here, she was having a real go with those Hispanic Jews. What do you call them?
It's Hasidic Jews. Hispanic Jews. Just Costa Rican guys with no foreskin. Those bloody Hispanic Jews.
No deodorant in the sun and the sweltering heat.
I know, I can't. I'm mad. Oh, Colin wants to know, did you enjoy the British Comedy Awards?
Yeah, the National Comedy Awards.
Oh, sorry, the National. Oh, fucking get the Brits out.
Yeah, the Brits out. There was Irish. Yeah, I did. No, it was a great time. Do you know what? I thought there'd be more entertainment.
Was there no entertainment?
Jordan Gray sang at the end of the night.
Oh,
But up.
my favourite comedian.
Oh, really?
No. Yeah, no. You know what? Jordan Gray is responsible for my favourite line I've ever seen in a written article ever.
Okay.
And it is, and then she proceeded to play the keyboard with her penis.
Yes.
And I enjoyed that.
It's
I went,
amazing.
yes,
I've
that's
never
a lot
heard of
of fun.
Jordan Gray.
Did she whip it out?
The piano.
Oh, not the lanyard? No. Oh, fuck, I would have.
Yeah, it was a very exciting room to be in of
Yeah.
who's who and all, and then but that was also extremely triggering for if you have imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, what am I?
Was there anybody that you saw that you're like, whoa, wow, why are they there? Yikes, I'm here with them. Whoa.
Catherine Ryan, Bob Mortimer sat right behind him.
Oh, nice.
Bill Bailey was there. Like
you-
Joe Lycett was there. All the people were there.
Yeah.
And then I was also there, and it was just like, fuck this. Like
That's nice, isn't it, though?
Oh, it was
So,
great. It
you were
was really,
like,
and there was all the mingling beforehand, and there's the red carpet, and everyone was like, it was a real fun time. But also being at that sort of thing, pregnant, Irish, can't drink, free bar. I mean,
Yeah.
free bar.
Yeah.
It goes against everything I believe in.
you were going back like to your ancestors to be like, oh, sure, they didn't have any advice about drinking when you were pregnant back in those days. Let's
yeah.
just go ahead.
Oh, I had 3 bottles of wine deep. It was fine. That's when I went and talked to Catherine.
But you know, that's also a thing that if it was me, I'd be like, oh, if I imagine I was there and it was a free bar and I got blocked, I'd be so scunnered about myself. I'd be like, what have I done? I've ruined my whole life. Whereas if I wasn't drinking, I'd be like, phew, I've probably been a boring bastard and no one likes anything I've said.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you
And
know.
then you realise how annoying black people are. You know, you get it.
What did you say?
How annoying black people are. Oh, no.
I swear.
I knew what you thought I said.
Yeah.
But
Whoa.
that's what I said in the blame game. It's still out there.
Well, there's the
They
clip.
don't know.
Oh. But yeah, was there anyone that you were just like, oh, shut up? And you don't need to name them.
No, but you know what? There was a lot of like Instagram, TikTok famous people
Yeah.
who probably don't do live stuff yet, and I didn't know who any of them were, but there was a
Yeah.
lot of people around me going, that's thingy and that's thingy, and I was like, now I feel like either a granny or a real smug
Yeah.
like, we do it live, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean, that sort of thing. But so I didn't really know who they were, but there's like a table of them right in front of me.
Yeah.
And that's the only table I was like, well, there's a table full of apparent stars, but I
Or
don't
all the
know who anymore.
commissioners like, oh, look, you've confused.
Yeah. And then there was people, I saw photographs afterwards of like the red carpet and all, and I was like, oh, I recognise that girl, and I recognise that fella, and I recognise that person, but I did, from seeing them on the night, but I didn't know who they were. And then you look up and they're like somebody who won Love Island last year, has like 1 million billion followers, and you're like,
And who was hosting it?
Tom Allen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny.
Do you know what? Ricky Gervais's acceptance speech was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
When he was like, he won Best Comedy Performance, and he was like, I I'm so embarrassed for all the other people in this category,
Yeah.
because they were doing all their best comedy acting. And I was in Afterlife just like crying and being miserable, and I'm still funnier than all you fuckers trying not to do your best funniness. And I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, no, well, he's obviously he's one of my favourites, but
Yeah.
recently it's like some of his, like, I didn't like his last special, and you know, sometimes I'm like, just don't be just no guy yet, Ricky. Hang on.
Yeah,
come on,
yeah, he is
hang
the old
on.
guy.
Don't be
I
a
mean,
bit of
it's
old
hard
guy.
to keep peddling out stuff though. He's doing it years,
Yeah,
isn't he?
he is, and see some of the stuff that he's done, the best stuff of all, you know.
Some of the stuff he's done, it was the best stuff of all
Yeah,
time.
like
Oh,
The
right.
Office, and then obviously you're
I
taking
thought you
American
meant
Office.
some of the stuff he's done is the best stuff he's done.
Yeah,
that's
some of
a
his best stuff is his best stuff. You know, that's also true.
Shit sentence.
Matt wants to know, Diona, your face just full of water. Yeah. Which do you prefer, acting or comedy, or alternatively, is it more rewarding or fulfilling performing or having another perform something you have written? It's too early for a question like this, he said. But no, I think it's a good question.
Okay, I definitely want to perform my own stuff, and most of what I write is for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm just egotistical like that.
Yeah.
No, because I think that's how you a lot of performers who end up writing start writing because they want to write themselves the parts that they haven't got yet.
Yeah.
So that's what I think I started writing for. I think I enjoy stand-up more because acting is, as you know now, very time consuming.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're talking 14-hour days if you're on set, and like even with plays as well, you like rehearse for like 3 or 4 weeks. And however, to stand on like the opera house stage to like 1,100 people and do a play, like especially like Bridesmaids that you've written yourself, is fucking the best feeling in the world. It's like just amazing. You're just like, how all these people are laughing and having a night out and enjoying themselves for something I've written and that I'm performing. So it's a really hard question to like be definitive about. I think it's a grey area. Depends on what it is.
Yeah.
I've done some things and you're like, well, I'd rather do stand up than acting that.
Yeah, but like acting is like there's more like relaxing in stand up, isn't there? Like in acting sometimes you're like wee legs and all get sore and you're standing about it for ages and you're like you know,
like, you're like, why someone not brought me my coffee yet? Why someone not holding an umbrella above my head?
That was a big lesson I got whenever I was in the last thing we did together. That was like, you went in and I was like, do you want a coffee? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll just go. No, you're
not doing anything for yourself.
And it's like, but I could, and they're like, no. And then I thought I was being polite, and they're like, no, that's someone's job.
Yeah,
so
don't take it from them.
You know, don't take their job.
I remember I was doing a movie one time when I got picked up from my hotel to go to Unit Base, which is where all the trailers are for like your hair and makeup and stuff. And they picked me up at the door of the hotel, my driver, and he drove me through the car park of the hotel where Unit Base was. I was in that car for 12 seconds. Yeah. And I remember going, because I arrived really late the night before in the dark and didn't see the Unit Base, and I just stood at the door of the foyer, got picked up, and he literally drove me like I hadn't got my seatbelt on yet, and he was like, there you go. And I was like, what was the point in that? I was like, I can walk that. And he was like, not insured to. You're not insured to walk that. You have to be in the car where we're insured to like travel you. And I was like, that is so unnecessary. But as you're saying, that's someone's job.
Yeah.
Don't take it from them.
But then it's like, that's why you sort of think maybe like the people can end up like divas. You know, like if Mariah Carey's used to that shit all the time.
Yeah.
You know, she just thinks that's the way it is.
I hope someday to be just like that.
I got shouted at one day again on a set because I was carrying, you know, the bags that
I'm like 30 seconds. I get shouted.
But I did because I was carrying, you know, the weights that you put over like light bases and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, what are you doing with that? And I was like, helping. And they're like,
no,
don't help. And I was like, all right, sorry.
No,
you know?
It's so funny because I think when you are filming, it's not the same in theatre, because in theatre you don't get your meals provided for you don't get picked up, it's real life.
Yeah.
Whereas in the film set or in TV sets, it's not real life. Like the way you're treated is so ridiculous. You don't need to be waited on hand and foot, but then you become such a wee dickhead. Yeah. You know, by the end of it, you're all I feel a bit of a breeze. Why is someone not sitting in front of me with a windbreaker? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like you become an absolute asshole, or you start to ask stupid questions. I remember filming one time, and I was with the director. He had said something like, so like you hold the gun out and then he like run past you here. We were like choreographing this scene, and it's all. I remember being like, but how long will my arm be up? Because I might get tired. And he was like, are you serious? And I was all, I think so. Yeah. I've been treated too well for 6 weeks that I'm asking a question about how tired my wee arm might get holding this gun up. Not even thinking of all the poor hairdressers. Yeah. Doing blow dries every day.
But you know who anytime I'm on a set to be like, why did you want that job? Is, you know, the boom.
The boom operator,
like, how can you hold a boom?
All day.
That is unbelievable. Like when
I know a guy who does that, and he's like
lats.
He's also the best in the biz. Oh. And like but you're part of the whole sound machine. So there's like 3 or 4 people working on that, and you're the operator of the boom. But it's important because if that goes unshot, you have to do that all again.
I know. No, it's wild.
I was on set one time whenever somebody filmed, a scene was filmed, it wasn't anything to do with me, and I heard shouting and like the whole thing kicking off, and it turns out the actress in the scene was wearing it was like a continuity error. Yeah. They'd given her the wrong shirt to wear. It was like a continuation of another thing, and it cost them like thousands because they had to then add like 6 hours on. Yeah. Like it was like a fucking big problem. You don't think about shit like that.
No.
Like that's why there's so many people doing wee tiny things.
Yeah, like that's the thing that I'm the most startled by. You know, like I remember I had a realization moment whenever we were on the set of The Blap, And I was like, this is a wee idea that I just had kicking
Yeah.
about. And then there's these people doing like, sound operation, set building,
Yeah.
all because of a silly wee idea I had. And I was like, really
And all
humbling,
employed.
Yeah.
And doing what they love. Because I
Not anymore though, because there's no series.
like blah blah blah.
Wasting my bloody
By
time
the way,
and
did you
spirits.
see the girl doing Rihanna's sign language?
Oh no, was she grooving?
No, oh my god, have you not seen her?
No, because I'm not allowed to watch Rihanna at the minute because of my dream.
What was your dream?
I dreamed that Rihanna wanted to book me and I said nah.
Was it surely you should be rewarded for
Yeah,
that?
but I woke Catherine up to tell her. And she was like, why tell me? And then she's like, oh, you fancy Rihanna? I'm like, no, I don't.
Well, dream is a wish your heart makes.
True.
Have you seen any Disney film?
No, fucking Jimmy
girl-
Cricket. Fuck.
This girl who was doing she was doing the sign language
Yeah.
for Rihanna at the Super Bowl, so she was doing the sign language for all of the songs,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, she was fully like, look, bitch, better have my money, like, blah, blah, blah. She was fucking unreal, just like going for it, like she was just doing, I don't know how to say language, but she was just going for it, and the fucking attitude, I was like, you need her to, she's a hype woman.
Yeah. Do you reckon deaf people are just a vibe?
Yes, they're just so fucking,
There's just vibey
yeah,
in
they've
the
just
way.
got
Yeah.
soul, yeah.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about my I had a deaf tenant that I had to investigate once because tenant.
Oh,
So like she was basically, the complaint was she was just flat out making a lot of sex noise. Like in her house, just having these guys come around, just giving them a good seeing to and whatever. So whenever we went out there, she was deaf. I brought like a colleague with me who's no longer with us, RIP, and she was like knew basic sign language, but she was so funny too because she was like, I know a bit, but not enough.
yeah,
So,
like she could be saying shag,
Yeah.
she could be saying microwave.
but she lost the head with her within about 5 minutes because the woman was legit deaf and she didn't know enough sign language. So she's like, get her down to the office, get an interpreter. Fucking get her. So I was like,
Get an
"Alright."
interpreter?
Get an interpreter. So I had to arrange an interpreter to come in and like basically, be very diplomatic to be like, so this deaf woman's there, interpreter's there, I'm on the other side table, like 26 or something. I'm too young to be have this responsibility. I'm like, so we've had some complaints that there's some noises coming from your house, and she's all the interpreters. She says, what sort of noises? I was like,
Sex
okay.
noises.
So I was like, noises coming from the bedroom. And she and then she's like, and what exactly when you say noises from the bedroom do you mean? Noises from the bedroom? And I was like sort of like grunting and panting and what sort of grunting? I'm like, loud sex noises, loud. There was loud sex noises coming, and then she went back and was all, and the woman was like, the deaf woman was like, doing all this. No, I said, oh no, she's whitey in here in her deaf way.
She's whitey.
So she come back, and then the woman was like, this all back to her and all, and then she turned around to me and she goes, she'll try and keep it down.
Oh no!
So I thought, oh no, she's like losing her act here, like giving up.
But she
like,
committed to
she's like, yeah, I'll just I'll stick a sock in it,
Wonder how up until that point she hadn't guessed, because it feels like you gave her a lot of clues.
Yeah, but like, and the thing was, I was watching very, very carefully because I'm pretty sure the sign language one went like that.
Okay.
Like, this is, and she was like, oh,
But you remember in school you used to go,
oh
no.
yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't that more to it?
It's like, why don't you fuck off? Wasn't that it?
I thought that was just spelling out fuck off.
No, I don't know. I thought it was, why don't you
I feel like there was
fuck
more to
off?
it than that, because I feel like it lasted longer. Like,
Yeah.
brap, brap, brap.
No, but you were maybe like a vibey, like the Rihanna
Yeah, I
interpreter.
was like,
whereas,
Disturbia.
no, I'm just the basic one. Then that's it though. Whenever you're deaf, like if you're just going, this is Disturbia, But if
Yeah.
it's a dance, you be, this is this, you have to actually
But
have
also,
the
what's a
rhythm.
shame is you wouldn't get the tune.
But you must know Rude Boy. Come here, Rude Boy.
Even if you're deaf, you
Yeah.
must know Rude Boy. It's
Deaf
like, do you know
Rude
a deaf
Boy.
person going, you know Rude Boy? And they're like, mm-mm. You're like, no, you know Rude Boy. You must know Rude Boy.
Oh, Rude Boy.
Oh, that Rude Boy. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, when I watched the Rihanna Super Bowl thing, I was like, every tune's a banger. She's had
Yeah.
some amount of bangers.
Rihanna's, if you look at my recently downloaded Apple, all Rihanna tunes.
Is it?
Yep.
I'm going to put some Rihanna on the way home.
She's great.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why I dreamt about her, so whatever. But I did turn her down because good guy. Last question, and then
Okay.
we'll let you go home because it's actually 2:00 and I was supposed to be home by bloody 1:30.
Well, we weren't supposed to start at 12:30, so there's no way.
I thought we were supposed to start at 12.
No, 12:30 it says
Well,
in
it's
the
not
thing.
none of my
A
diary.
text.
Well, I don't read.
I have texts.
I don't read texts.
Let's
I
say
just
12:30.
read diaries. Natalie says, on the topic of best friends, which is what we are,
Yeah.
two best friends, do you remember your first best friend and what it was that bonded you together. Me and my best friend both have surnames beginning with N, so we sat together at school and we were best friends to this day.
Remember you used to sit beside whoever was alphabetically? Yeah. There was a girl in my street and she wasn't my best friend, but I really wanted her to be my best friend.
What was it about her that...
Oh, she was so cool. You called her Kira. Don't remember her second name, but you know what she did? She used to do it. I used to be like, you're fucking class. Do you know, like, zip up tracks at tops, like Adidas tracks tops. So if we were out in the street and she'd be like eating a bag of crisps or an ice pop or drinking a thing of juice, she would zip down. Do you want me to have she would zip it down, put the rubbish inside the jacket, just like freely, not in a pocket, zip it back up again. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. Yeah. And I thought, well, I can't start doing that because
her thing.
It's her thing. I can't start using my jacket as a bin because people will think I'm just trying to copy Kira.
Oh yeah.
But I'll bin Kira.
I know, it doesn't work, does it?
But I remember just thinking, you are so cool.
And did you get with Kira? Like, were you friends in the end?
We were friendly, but I just couldn't live up to that standard.
Yeah, she knew what you wanted, and it was just her skills.
She was like, "What are you offering? Like, I've offered this cool piece of information that we can talk about. You'll have this to talk about in a podcast in 20 years' time. Yeah. What are you giving me?
Imagine you just had like wee tight bottoms of your trousers, you know, at the very bottom, that like stick to your ankles, and you put compost down them. That could be what you could do. You know, like you could put like recyclables. You know, like tea bags and we like banana skins. So you'd recycle.
I wondered how you'd gotten there, but you do mean rubbish. It's like, am I growing plants on my ankles?
Well, you could grow plants in your ankles.
I thought you were just like, do you know what you could do? You just plant some fucking daffodils in your ankles.
Well, I mean, that'd be a pretty cool skill.
So fucking stupid.
Like Daffodil Diona over there. Skills.
Did you have any best friends that you like?
I remember I was friend. My first best friend was a guy called Ryan, and we met on the first day at P1, and he was playing with, you know, the Death Star, or not the Death Star, the Falcon, whatever the Millennium Falcon is from Star Wars. He was playing with that, and I wanted to play with it. So I was like, I want to play with that, and he was like, but I'm playing with it, and I was like, I know, but I want to. And he was like, we could share, and I was like, at that time, an only child.
That's
like,
not what I'm doing.
I don't want to, and he was like, I know, but and I was like, well, give us a go and all. And then that's how we became friends. So we just kind of argued over this toy. And
did you become lifelong friends?
Yeah, we were. He was my best friend up until like I was maybe in mid-teens, and then just went to a different school and just drifted, which was sad. Like, but no, I loved him. So
I was also,
he was my first love.
Really like best friends for a period of time with the girl in my class who was the smartest girl in the class, and I was the second smartest girl in the class.
And did you get jealous of her? And
we were like competitive about like school marks and all, but her mum was the school secretary as well.
That's fucking nepotism there.
Yeah, she was a nepo baby back then. Yeah. And she would get like, she also played Mary in the nativity in the school because she could also sing.
But you know what, don't hear a bit of a insider info now. See, nowadays Marys always have we want about them.
People who play the Marys? Do you know that from going to your daughter's school?
Yes. But I tell you what, I need to say this because this is one of the funniest things I'd ever seen in my life. And you know when you're just in a place and you shouldn't be laughing, but it's like so inappropriate, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
We were at the nativity this year, and it was Holly was in it.
So that only happened this year.
And she was a wee black star. You know, right. So she was Bruno Mars. No, she was just. She was
Rihanna.
She was dressed as literally, I don't know why, a black star in the sky. Right.
That's so weird. That's not very bright.
No, but like she got a line, and her line was, "The sky is filled with hundreds of stars." I was like, well, factually, it's millions and billions. So, duh.
Yeah,
you know?
They can't count that high.
No, they're stupid. But like, there was a guy who was like doing a speech at the end of it. Like this guy, like, was part of the board of governors. So you know, whenever there's the P1 nativity, and he comes up and he's like, you know, it's wonderful at schools, blah blah blah. But he must have in his head gone, I need to throw a bit of banter in here. I need to make the people laugh. I know what they want. They like humour. Let's hit them with a bit. So he did this whole big thing, and he built it up really well. He was like, so, you know, there's obviously a lot of effort goes into this play. So many moving parts. The kids are amazing. The teachers have gone into such, you know, extreme levels of work to pull this together. It's such a proud moment. She's like, the teachers must be like hearing the songs over and over in their head. And that little donkey dance, they're doing this wee donkey dance like this, and they're this, and the teachers are probably going to bed at night, waking up, thinking about this donkey dance. She's like, imagine they go to bed and they wake up at 3 a.m. and they're like this. He goes, I don't think their husbands would be complaining, if you know what I mean. And then moved on. We were
he said that.
I was like, well, what way do you do it? But he was doing this. Like,
I like a grabber out of it.
Yeah.
Do you want those like vending machines?
right, whip it
Pinch
out.
the dick.
Come on, let's get it over with quickly. Come on. But you could see in his face,
When
you
you
know.
roll over from afar.
You're like one of the wee green aliens in Star Wars, Toy Story. It's like, give me.
But he said that dirty joke in front of kids.
But they obviously no one picked up on it. I thought it was only me and Catherine realised he was this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we were like, trying not to laugh. It was so funny. And then he was like, anyway, next. And like all the teachers and all were clearly like, gross. Like, what are you doing? But it was so funny.
Imagine if he, like now the teachers would walk past him in the corridor and be all,
Hey mate, you're a wanker. Oh, speaking of wankers, that's enough. This sounds so rude. Sorry. Speaking of wankers, that's enough for you. It's been a lot of fun. You have to go back home.
just return to motherhood.
I have to go back home. Do you have your kids today or what?
Yes. Well, she's at Winter's at nursery and the older boys are at school. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna go collect them all, feed them
Yeah.
all.
You know what? Someone said to me
Bed them all.
something recently that made me really sad.
No.
They were like, see, when you get older, it could have been you. You might have been the one. It's like all you do with older kids is just take them places and get them again.
No,
And
I
that's-
didn't say that.
No, it must have been something
That
else
is
then.
true.
But it's like all you do is you take them here, leave them there, and then there's another one to go here and there. It's all of this just timing and
Yeah.
delivering. I don't want to have to do that.
Do you know what as well? There's two things that always make me sad. One is when there will be a last time that you will lift up your child.
Oh no.
There will be a last. Not
for
you,
me.
not
No,
this guy.
No, I'll forever lift them. No.
And then there will also be a last time, like there's also going to come a time, like, because obviously it's quite overwhelming when your kids are constantly like clung to you and you can't go for a pee. I can't go for a pee, but I want you to come with me. But there'll be a time where she doesn't want to watch me pee.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly.
But you know what is a weird thing too? Matilda did this the other day. Again, she's got a wee step to get up to the toilet. And
Yeah.
it's not even for her yet 'cause she still has nappies. Duh, it's Holly.
Yeah.
But there's a wee step that's in our downstairs toilet. And I was sitting in the toilet and Matilda's got into the habit now. She'll come in, push the wee step against the wall, sit on it and just like talk to me or whatever.
It's
on the toilet.
cute.
But the other day she came in with a wee bowl of like grapes and blueberries and had a banana. So you were just sitting there with grapes on her knee, banana, eating whilst I was taking a
Yeah,
dump. And I was
just
like, Matilda, this is like so gross. When I tell you about this when
spectating
you're older,
sport.
you're going to hate it. And another thing that I'll definitely stop doing when they're older is I do this like wee snuggly kiss on like her cheek where I'm like, and it's like whenever she's like, I don't know, probably 6 or something, she'll be like, Dad, what are you doing? This is so,
That's so shit, isn't
you
it?
know, yeah, and it's sad, like.
No. That's what they say. You only have a wee child for 4 years.
And do you ever have nicknames
you've
for
lost.
them that you call? Like, do you ever call Winter something? You're like, what a weird thing I've just said there that I would never have imagined.
So I call Winter Babby.
Yeah.
So I would say Babby all the time. And then when I'd be all, like, whenever I come into the house, she goes to me, hello, Babby. Because she knows I always be like, hi,
Yeah.
Babby. You know, but I always wondered why I say Babby.
Yeah.
But it comes from Irish.
Yeah.
That's Irish for
I knew
baby.
that. Babby.
Yeah. So
And
we just say
Babbish.
Babby. Because my brother would call his wee ones Babby Bug, like wee babies.
Yeah. No, because I call Holly Bodum because her middle name's Bo. And then she couldn't say bottom. So if she needed to go to the toilet, she's like, my Bodum.
Is her middle name Bo?
Bo, Holly Bo. Yeah.
That's on our list.
Yeah.
Has always been on our list for boys'
so she's,
names.
but B-E-A-U, not B-O like you have because you don't wear deodorant.
Yeah.
But no, so that's why I just call her Bodum, which is stuck as a wee nickname now. So I'll be like, well, hey Bodum, come over here. And Matilda, I call her Finch, which is a wee weird nickname.
Is it because of Grinch?
Because she would call the Grinch the Finch.
Yeah.
And then she would start calling herself. She calls herself Tidgy and Finch. That's her two nicknames.
Just so funny because I know
yeah.
I know that about Holly that she says Finch because Winter calls Grinch. She calls him a wrench.
A wrench, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Wrench.
what. So now those stupid wee nicknames are Bodum and Finch.
Ah, it's
Which
cute.
is weird. But then you step back and go, that's so rare. Like,
Yeah,
why did I-
and also when they're older, they'll be all, stop calling me
Bodum,
Finch.
Yeah. No, stop
Yeah.
calling me Finch.
Like a fucking a wee old man that has the top of the
Yeah,
hill.
no, hers Finch.
Old man Finch.
Yeah.
With his wee grabby wanker hands.
You know, but no, Matilda, like Tidgy is stuck because Matilda's a weird name, so that's like a wee nickname.
Tidgy means like small, like Tidgy.
Yeah, but Holly called her Tidge instead of like Matilda because we were like, we could call her something like Tilda or, instead of.
Yeah.
And then it started off with being Madge because I just called her Madge when she was born. And then
Aye,
that sort of
that's
became
an older
Tidge.
woman's name, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but I thought it was funny because she was a wee baby, So then Holly just called her Tidge, and now Matilda calls herself Tidgy. So she's
Yeah.
like, Tidgy's hungry. I'm like,
Winter,
"Alright."
whenever you would say something to her, like, she would be, who owns that? Instead of saying me, she would say her name.
Yeah.
But she would go, Winter?
Yeah.
And she would always go, but every time, and she doesn't say before anything else, only her name. So all the
Yeah.
time go, who owns that? Winter? El winter. Oh, they're so cute, the wee dicks.
I know, they are wee dicks. But that's the thing, isn't it? I was talking to Tony actually earlier about this. It was like, there's no middle feelings with kids.
No.
You know, there's no like, they're fine. It's either they're doing your head in or they love them more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
And like, you go away for them, like you say, for a night or a date or something, and you're like, I want to lift her out and snuggle her when I get home.
What do they call that? A paradox? Where you, in equal measures, like, mourn your life where you didn't have kids, but also would never want to not have them. Like, it's like that they're the best thing ever. I think it's a paradox. It's a mindfuck. It's how civilization still exists.
Yeah, for now. But you know what? I think that's a good thing because we've gone full circle. But we started off at the beginning of civilization with the Mormons, the Hasidics, the Amish, and they were wrapping it up. So, you know,
We've healed the world.
yeah, I'm going to go home, have some lunch, maybe wash it down with some Hasidic juice. And then it'll be a nice time. There we go. Diona, is anything you need to plug or anything?
My podcast is called Remember When with Diona Doherty, and also tickets to tickets to the Hen Do are on sale on the Grand Opera House website. And also today, when's this going out?
This will be going out on Thursday week. So
Right now, today, it has been announced that Bridesmaids of Northern Ireland is touring Britain as Bridesmaids of Britain with a new cast and a new altered script, and doing about 70 shows in England.
there we go. Bingo.
From this July. If you're in England or going to England or Scotland or Southern Ireland or Wales, you can go see it.
Now, the next question is, are we going to move to Europe next?
Yeah. I think we're going to
Taking over.
head up Australia.
Fucking right, get in there. Bridesmaids down under.
Yeah.
Give it that.
That's where they like to be.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And now we'll go back to parents. Yes.
I'm the sly guy.